Alrighty, we continue. This is that Gelb Show on the Infinity Sports Network. My favorite pitcher in Major League Baseball is Tarik Skubal. So I'm in a very competitive fantasy baseball league with my buddies, and a few years ago, I acquired him via trade, and I've kept him throughout all the years. And this past season, heading into the year, I actually named my team after him, which is Scooby Dooby Doo, spelled Skuby. And man, he's really paid off to reward me for naming my team after him. He is the all-star, the favorite to win the AL Cy Young, currently 10-3 with the 2.37 ERA and 132 strikeouts in Major League Baseball. And he's Tarik Skubal, kind enough to join us right now on the Zach Gelb Show. Tarik, congratulations so much on your success. Thanks so much for doing this, and how you been?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. So what are your thoughts on my team name in this fantasy baseball league, Scooby Dooby Doo, after you?
Yeah, that's a great team name. It's either got to be that or Scooby Snacks. I think those are two good team names to have.
Is Scooby like a nickname for you, just wondering? Because I just did it as a play on words, but does anyone ever call you Scooby, just wondering?
Yeah, I'm more referred to just as Scoob. It's never my first name. It's never the full last name. It's more just Scoob. That's kind of how everyone in the clubhouse, calls me or try to get my attention or whatever.
Well, that's awesome. Hey, talking about awesome, your performance on Sunday, 7 innings, 3 hits, and a career-high 13 Ks, only allowing 1 earned run. Just how about what was going right for you in a season that's been incredible for you?
Yeah, no, it was a good day. It was a good day. Obviously, the guy behind the plate, Raj, called a great game, and I was able to execute some pitches. And then obviously our offense gives us enough runs and then blows it open late. So it was a good team win and a good sweep, to end a long road trip on.
Do you feel like that was your best start of the season?
Yeah, probably, results based. Yeah. I would say that was probably the best one. And obviously there were some factors that played into it. Our bullpen was a little taxed. So my focus was more just on pitching deep in the game, and I was able to do that.
Talking to Tarik Skubal right now, who's an all-star this year for the first time. What does that honor mean for you to be an all-star and participate in that early next week?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. What a privilege it is. And, to get voted in by your peers too, I think is an incredible honor. And then obviously to wear the Old English D down there in Texas will be a ton of fun. So, I'm really excited and I look forward to it.
Have you thought about maybe starting the game? Because I've seen the speculation that a lot of people think you're going to be named the All-Star Game starter.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I think that would be really cool. As far as, I don't really know if I have much say in that. I think that's up to the manager. So yeah, it would be awesome to do it. But I don't have say in that.
How do you look back so far this first half of the season? It's been an incredible performance by you. I know you've had some ups and downs in your career, dealing with various injuries, but to see this level of dominance and what you've been able to do, I know you have one more start still lined up before the All-Star break up against the Dodgers, but how do you kind of put it into words what you've been able to do this first half of the season?
Yeah, I've just been healthy. My body feels good, so that's a credit to, the training room and the weight, the strength coaches that we got, and then obviously, how I'm being managed too, given some extra days here and there to kind of let the body bounce back. So that's what I credit it to. I'm feeling good. Pitching coach, Fett's been great. The whole pitching department too, with me and what I'm trying to do, game planning, all that stuff has been awesome. So, it's a credit to the organization for making my job, pretty simple when I go out there.
Tarik Skubal here with us. We see the intense competitor and you wear your emotions on your sleeve when you're on the mound, but it looks like you're very comfortable this year. I know you got called up during COVID in 2020, and that was a bizarre time. You had to deal with the injury in August of 2022, the flexor tendon that you ended up needed surgery on. Just wondering, when did you start to really feel comfortable at the big league level?
Yeah, I think it kind of started a little bit in 22. I started to string together, some good starts and got a little bit more comfortable with the coaching staff, the teammates, seeing the same kind of guys around the league and understanding how to get guys out, and then obviously understanding where my stuff plays. And yeah, I'd say, in 22, and then obviously been able to build off that ever since.
Going back to the Tommy John that you had in college and then the surgery that we talked about in August of 2022, we know what you could do physically, right? That's never really been in doubt the last few years, but there's a mental side of it when you go through so many injuries. Just had you kind of fight through those injuries and what you kind of do to kind of ease yourself a little bit mentally and not get too down? Just wondering.
Yeah, no, I think the toughest part about injuries is almost always the mental side of it. It's not really the physical side of it. So yeah, I mean, it's tough not being able to play and do the, play the sport that you've always loved playing. And when it gets taken away from you, you got to, learn to grow and look yourself in the mirror and make some adjustments to your routine, nutrition, whatever it is, sleep, all that kind of stuff adds in. So that's where I kind of shift my focus, throughout those rehab processes.
Take me through your journey just growing up. I know that you wanted to be a basketball player, and then obviously you became very successful at baseball. You only had, though, one Division I offer, and that was to Seattle University that you ended up going to. Take me through kind of the origins of a young Tarik Skubal and how you landed at Seattle University.
Yeah, so I mean, coming up through high school, always wanted to play basketball. My dad was a basketball coach, so I've always, loved that sport. And then, I played in the Arizona Fall Classic, which is like a baseball tournament. Got recruited by one Division I school, took it, and the coaching staff up there at Seattle U was great to me. And the rest is history. Drafted by the Tigers, and then was able to kind of climb the ladder, and then get to the big leagues.
When did you start to think to yourself, "Hey, I could do this professionally. I could be one of the elite pitchers in Major League Baseball one day"?
That's a good question. I don't know. I've always been pretty confident in myself, but as far as being one of the game's best, I don't. You just try to control what you can control when you're out there. So I've never really thought about that. I'm more focused on my process, which is just executing pitch after pitch, and that's how I judge my outings. And then, obviously results have been good, so far. So, yeah, I don't really know if I've ever thought of myself like that.
What was your scouting report? Give me the scouting report of you as a basketball player. Just wondering.
I was kind of like a, swing. I could play the point guard. I could, go down to the post.
Good 3-point shot.
I was a little versatile. Yeah, I could shoot a little bit. Pretty versatile. Could defend. Kind of just like kind of just a stock player. I was good. I could facilitate an offense, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think I had a good IQ at it, and understanding what was going on. But yeah, I mean, I was good, not great.
So when did you fall in love with baseball then? Just wondering, because basketball was the first love, like you said.
I think I probably fell in love with it, when I was in college. Basketball was always, the first thing for me. My dad was a coach, so I was kind of raised in the gym in that aspect. So probably when I went up to Seattle U, that's when I really fell in love with the grind, the process, and learned a ton about myself and obviously the stuff coming out of my arm.
I know you still got a second half of the season, but right now you're the odds-on favorite to win the AL Cy Young. Have you at all given that some thought that if you keep this up, there's a good chance at the end of the year you could be honored as the best pitcher in the AL with the Cy Young?
Yeah, I try not to think about that too much. I'm more focused on, when I get the ball every fifth day, putting my team in a position to win. So that's how I look at it. And, I'll let the accolades and all that stuff take care of itself at the end of the year.
Wrapping up with Tarik Skubal, getting to your next start, it's up against the Dodgers. I know you faced Shohei Ohtani in one game before in the past. He's 0-3 against you with the strikeout. You're able to get him. Just kind of take me through the approach of Shohei Ohtani. I know he's not pitching this year, but we know he's still the most feared hitter in the game with just what he's able to do anytime he steps foot in the baseball diamond.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to reveal anything, what I'm going to try and do, but, what a talent, what an opportunity for me to go up and compete against, one of the best teams in the big leagues. So, I'm looking forward to the challenge, and it'll be a ton of fun.
I know that you got to take each game and each throw pitch by pitch, but does it feel bigger when you step on the mound and I know the Dodgers have so many great players, but when you see Ohtani walking up to the plate?
I mean, sure, but, you got to get back to your process. You can't make any pitch or any at-bat or any game bigger than the next one. So, as a player, you try not to do that and just be present in the moment and focus on executing a pitch. And if I can do that a lot of times, I like my odds.
Before we let you run, Paul Skeens, he's been sensational to start his young big league career. Made the All-Star team after only pitching in 10 games, but that's how much of a sensation he's been. I know you're locked in on what you're doing, but just give me a little pitcher's perspective on what you've been able to see out of Paul Skeens.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it all the way through the College World Series last year. So, I mean, that player is incredibly talented, young. What he's doing right now is nothing short of amazing. And, I like watching him pitch, his demeanor, how he carries himself, handles himself. It's a ton of fun to watch, as a player. So, yeah, I mean, hats off to him and what he's been able to do and the success he's had so early in his career. So, hopefully he keeps it up and he has a long one and it's really good for the game.
Wrapping up with Tarik Skubal of the Tigers, his tremendous first half of the season is going to be an all-star, and we'll see him next week. For you, it's been a great first half of the season. There's been some trade rumors, though. How do you kind of handle those rumors with your name getting floated out and potentially getting dealt from now until the deadline?
Yeah, I mean, none of that's in my control. It's a lot of noise, and you just don't want that impact or take away from, what your job is and what you're trying to do every time out there. So it's not in my control. So, it's the business part of the game. And, I don't have any say in it. So that's kind of how I think about it.
I know it's not in your control. Like you said, you don't have a say in it. But naturally, when you hear all these rumors, does your brain at all start to wander in a direction that, hey, maybe there is a chance I get dealt?
No, I really try not to think about it, to be honest. You get asked these questions and stuff, and, it's out of my control. So, as far as, my day-to-day process, I don't really let it cross my mind.
So if you do stay in Detroit, what do you think you guys are building there? What do you think this team could be capable of in the second half of the season and maybe down the road a few years from now?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we got a good team, a good young core, a lot of guys that are learning at this level and developing, and we got a bunch of guys that like to work and work hard. So I like that. I like our odds. I like us finishing strong before the All-Star break, and then everyone getting a little bit reset, and we can come out hot, in the second half and see what happens. Season's not over by any means. So, I'm excited. I'm excited, for this team and this organization.
Well, it's been a joy to watch you pitch the last few years. Congratulations on all your success, and good luck coming up on Friday and then also next week with the All-Star game. Thanks for doing this.
Yes, of course. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.